Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat, potatoes, and housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. Content's coming over there later today. Free to follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at AnonymousRealityT. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the videos that it gets out into the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and the foes. And free, you guys, whether you are coming or going to like the video. So we need to talk about this preview clip for episode 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, Sweet 16, episode 2, that dropped on Monday, you guys. That dropped on Monday, but as I told y'all in previous videos, I was not going to react to it till I felt like reacting to it, because I thought it was ridiculous of Bravo to just ambush us like this with all of this content, with all these clips, all stimulating us, overdoing it with all of us as if we have to force to be watched it. We're suggesting the first episode. We're still reacting to the first episode, what we think the season's going to look like, what the trajectory of these friendships and all these things, what we think the Kenya versus Britt thing's going to be. But no. Bravo said, we don't care. Not on our watch. We are going to continue to overstimulate you until you can't be overstimulated anymore. And we're just going to keep showing out clips. So we already reacted to the 6-minute clip of the PORSHA versus Drew that was the continuation of SHAMEA's birthday party. And this scene, to set it up, they are at the gym. By they, I mean Drew Sidora, Angela Oakley, and SHAMEA Morton. They're at the gym. They're trying to have a follow-up of the PORSHA versus SHAMEA at the birthday party. Drew's trying to ask SHAMEA, okay, what prompted this? What are we, why we slept? Or no. Before we get to that, Drew is talking about her music career. Listen, it's no shade. It's no shade, but I've never heard of Drew Sidora's music. I'm sure she can hold a tune. It's not personal. It's more about Drew Sidora putting 20 on 10. About how great of a producer Dennis is, that I'm just not buying, that I'm just not featuring. Like you got Jermaine Dupri right there. You got all of your Atlanta heavy hitters. You got Jazzy Faye. You got all your big time Atlanta producers. None of them were available, or did they cost too much money? Like I'm just confused. When I think of Dennis, I think of Hot Dog Man and that alcohol he promotes. I do not think of Dennis, the go-to music producer. That's where like the wires and stuff get crossed for me. But nonetheless, Drew said she's gearing up for her new record, that she's trying to get some stuff in place or whatever, that allegedly her and Dennis worked on 35 records together and on all this and that. But I was checked out when episode 1, Drew is up here going to the extent of calling Dennis her guardian angel. So SHAMEA is trying to get more about this dynamic of Drew and Dennis, and she's trying to explain that in the beginning Dennis was championing for Drew and Ralph to work it out, to get back together, to work things out in their marriage and all this and that. SHAMEA still kind of like, what's tea with the pictures of y'all showing up in matching outfits and all this and that. And out of nowhere, here comes Angela. Well, why did you, come out of the blue and come out the woodwork asking for PORSHA if, Drew and Dennis slept together? And SHAMEA's like, wait. I didn't ask for PORSHA. I asked for SHAMEA. And this is a thing. This is the thing, right? I don't think SHAMEA cares like that. You know what I mean? It's about when you're trying to be pushed as the anchor, as the nucleus, to push the storylines forward. These are the conversations that production's like, hey, SHAMEA, we need to follow up on, the Dennis versus Drew conversation. We need you to facilitate this conversation when you go work out today with Drew Sidora. And so Angela's trying to, jump in. And it was weird because the conversation was between SHAMEA and Drew, which is what SHAMEA pointed out. But Angela wasn't having it and kept interrupting. SHAMEA kept trying to say, no, you were trying to find out the tea for PORSHA. You were trying to find out the tea. And SHAMEA's like, no. Porsha's got her own stuff that she's dealing with. She's dealing with this divorce. She's dealing with all this other stuff. Like, what are you talking about? And so none of the less, we get some confessionals. SHAMEA's trying to figure out where's all this energy coming from. Angela, all of y'all were at this birthday party. All of y'all were at my birthday party. All of y'all were in the room when the Porsha versus Drew conversation happened. And Angela Oakley, you were quiet as a mouse then. Why are you piping up now? Why are you doing all of this? Even SHAMEA said to Angela's face, why are you coming in hot like this? Why are you now trying to be the bulldog for Drew Sidora? I'm sitting feet away from Drew Sidora. If Drew Sidora felt a certain type of way, she should say it to my face. But again, everyone wants to be a confessional gangster. Everybody wants to have the trigger words when they are in these confessionals, but never say how they feel in these housewives' faces, except for like if you're Nene Leakes or somebody. But nonetheless, a lot of these housewives do not give the same energy when they are right in front of these people, and I'm glad SHAMEA called it out. That you're coming in hot. I didn't have to ask this question on Porsha's behalf. I was asking the question for my own knowledge and from what was being shown out here in the blogs and in the gossip streets of Atlanta. It had nothing to do with Porsha. I'm just trying to figure out, is this more than just a business relationship between Drew and Dennis? And so, nonetheless, here comes Drew in her confessional, up here talking about she feels that SHAMEA is Porsha's lapdog, and they do like a little image of Porsha, or not Porsha, of SHAMEA, and have the word lapdog, y'all. Like, it's just unnecessary. I actually didn't even feel like in this moment that, like I said, I didn't feel like the scene really had anything to do with Porsha per se. It was more about SHAMEA trying to get the truth out of Drew, because Drew was all over the place, and the conversation with Porsha, she kept trying to, play that little smiling like, oh, I don't know why she's upset, or I don't know what's really wrong. Like doing that nonsense instead of just answering the question. And then you admit in the background that you did book the photo shoot behind Porsha's back for Go Naked Hair and didn't seem to think there was an issue. So it's like, you're right there in front of SHAMEA, Drew. You could have said to her face, nothing's going on, nothing's inappropriate. I can see how the blogs may have thought that there was something wrong or inappropriate going on. But see, what Drew's trying to do is Drew's trying to drag this out because she wants another confrontation with Porsha so that she can have more screen time, so that she can have scenes filmed with Dennis to talk about people speculating about if their, arrangement is more than professional. So I see what Drew's trying to do. She's just doing a terrible job of hiding what she's trying to do. But nonetheless, that was essentially the scene, you guys. And I just don't... I get what SHAMEA is doing. When you are trying to facilitate storylines and you're going to be called the anchor, the nucleus of all the friendships, you're the ones that's bridging the gap between the old friendships and the new friendships, the old housewives and the new housewives that are coming onto the show, you have a job. You have a job that in all the scenes that you were in, you are supposed to direct the conversation. You are supposed to facilitate the conversation, and we see where it goes from there. But you have certain talking points. You have certain topics that you need to hit on so that we can get the scene to be a go. So this wasn't about Porsha as much as it was, let's carry on the conversation, because the conversation really didn't come to a conclusion at my birthday party. And we need some follow-up. We need some more details. We need some more information. And Angela was trying to undercut for whatever reason, and trying to undercut when we needed to get what the real tea was of the story. But nonetheless, if the other side of it too is if Drew was really Porsha's friend, why all this sneaking stuff that's happening with Dennis? If Porsha's really your friend, why not just pick up the phone and call her and tell it what it was? I never feel like SHAMEA was ever Porsha's lapdog. I think SHAMEA is just one of those people. She's one of those friends that she is going to always try to see the good in people no matter what, even if it's to her own detriment. So therefore, she's going to be an advocate, but I feel like in this scene, it was really just trying to push the storyline forward. It wasn't really, that type of seriousness. And also, I just think, Drew, you're being a little bit of a hypocrite. You're up here crying on the phone that you couldn't handle getting dragged at that reunion for Real Housewives of Atlanta, begging Porsha basically to come back on their show. Porsha's trying to give you some tips on how to handle these girls and everything else. Porsha comes back to the show and it's a sneak attack. It's like, hey, we're all going to come for Porsha, but specifically with you, you're going to try to use her baby daddy, the hot dog man, as a storyline because you and Ralph are at odds. And Porsha's like, I wanted to use my own baby daddy for the storyline since I can no longer utilize Simon. So yeah, it's just interesting. But I always laugh at these gym scenes because really the only one who gives gym scenes like they actually worked out was Sheree Whitfield. But everybody else, when I see these gym scenes, I just laugh because it's like, I don't know. Did any workout actually happen? Maybe we'll see in the episode. It looks like SHAMEA was the only one that actually worked out, but nonetheless, we'll have to see. I feel that yeah, and I feel like too with Angela, I feel like she was just trying to really get in screen time, but it's coming off like coming in way too hot for no reason, and it's just like we just need to take a chill pill. We just need to take a breath. We just need to take a back seat. So there is that. That's all I got for this video. What do you guys think of this scene, of this gym scene between SHAMEA, Angela, and Drew? Why was Drew on the mute challenge? When it came to her and Dennis's personal relationship, it had all this stuff to say about her music. Why was Angela cutting off SHAMEA at every turn and kept saying that she was trying to ask on Porsha's behalf? Why were they coming for SHAMEA like this when SHAMEA is just trying to push forward the storyline? It had nothing to do with Porsha, really. It was about continuing the conversation so that we could reach a conclusion, and Angela was undercutting the conversation because they don't want the conclusion to happen anytime soon because that's their screen time. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.